For today's video, we find ourselves in Escondido, California, with a riveting game of Frolf going on. And, well, I'm back at Kit Carson Park. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Now, I went here once before, and believe it or not, it was closed. Yes, I am very good at going to closed places. But this place is supposed to be open the second and fourth Saturday of every month. The Queen Khalifa, Mosaic, Maze, Statue Garden, whatever you may call it, we're going to go check it out. But before we do, we got to make it over there. And it looks like the road that I usually take in here is blocked off. So I had to go a different way. I had to park on the other side of this little ravine. I'll show you. Right over here. So I cannot access it today. So I really hope it's open, because otherwise this was all for naught once again. So let's do a history lesson. Kit Carson, who was that guy? Why is the park named after him? Well, he was a fur tradesman, a frontiersman. He was in the U.S. Army. He was known for opening the West to the pioneers. And he was actually not too far from here at one of the wars that they had with a band of Indians, where they were surrounded at Mule Hill but were able to sneak away and get down to San Diego and get some backup to end up winning that war. I believe that war was in 1845. And as I'm walking over here, this has nothing to do with Kit, but look at this, is where I should have been able to park. And there's a car driving up there. And they do have you blocked off. And around here to the corner is where the Queen Califa'S sculpture garden is. Okay, I think it might be open because there are people walking back from this way. But the garden is named for Califa'S, the warrior queen of the island of California. It inspired rich history of culture. It includes a circular enclosure maze entryway paved with mosaic tiles, 10 large sculptures, native trees, and shrubs. How exciting. I guess we'll follow this sign. So there's a couple things. There's the Walt Disney barn up in Griffith Park, and then of course this that I just assumed. And you know the classic line of, when you assume something, as Adam would say, it makes a you know what out of you and me. And I've assumed that because it's Saturday, these places would just be open. Now, I hope this thing is not closed because of whatever event is going on today. I do not see any people walking around inside yet. But hopefully, when I get there, the gates will be thrown open for me and I can meander my way around this garden. I'll show you what it looks like from here. It's not that bad of a walk, and it's perfect weather, so just right around there to the right and then to the left. I will not be a happy camper if this is closed. See a sign and I'm hearing voices. The 120-foot diameter enclosed garden is part of a 12-acre habitat in the Kit Carson Park. It opened in, I believe it was October 26th, way back in 2003. It's the only sculpture garden, only open a few days a week. But there are docents here, so I think we have enough just to go on and explore on our own. But yes, I'm hearing voices. The gates are open. Camper officially happy. I am stoked. There is the welcome sign. And upon entering, it says dogs welcome too. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Made from, I believe it was Mexican pebble and hand-cut mosaics. I guess it's Mexican pebble stone, while the snakes and other sculptures are clad in thousands of hand-cut glass. The stone mosaic tiles, some wall segments are also decorated with ceramic plaques engraved with Native American rock and other symbols. There's a maze in here. You can see all the stone too, laid in here. I'm gonna head back the other way real quick just because there was a little guy following me. Don't want to put them on bed. I am in the maze right now, and we're gonna get into the middle of this. This is really something to see. This is cool. It really should be open a lot more than just 2 days a month, that's for sure. This is impressive. We're gonna get into everything here. And it's free. Okay, if you're wondering about the price, free to you, free to me. Made our way to the center court. We made it through that not so tricky maze. We'll take a look at some of these sculptures. This one, I would say, is the most magnificent one out of all of them. Oh, there's somebody under there. I didn't even see that. That was weird. And there's a QR code as we walk around. Sorry about the sun glare. Try to get behind it in a sec. I'll get on the other side of it as well. There's some folks over there with their signs, but here's the QR code. Point your camera here. I just did. Scan with your phone and follow the screen prompts. I like that. That's a cool, like, parrot looking thing. You just got in trouble for hanging on these because they're made out of, part of them are made out of foam, and you can see just, oh wow, the glass inside the snake's mouth, the detail all the way down to the eye. This is really cool. This is really worth it. So yeah, the 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month. If I shoot backwards across, I think it'll be the best way to kind of show these stones and the mosaics. Oh, look at these beads. Everything you want to touch. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I like touching things anyways. So this is a rippling 400-foot snake wall ranging between 4 and 9 feet all the way around. You can see it goes all the way around the perimeter here of the garden. I'm going to shoot this way. These little guys are having way too much fun, and there's a bunch of different snakes too. There's the egg fountain and the eagle throne, which is directly in the middle. And then from there, we have the totem figures. 8 totem sculptures measuring between 11 and 21 feet. And that's all these that you see with the different designs. With the cool, these people are just taking a load off here, trying to stay cool in the shade. I think so far out of all mine, this is probably my favorite totem with the spider and the bird on top. Here's a side view. So this is about to where his eyes are, like about 6-7 feet high. This is cool. I gotta figure Huell Hauser would have loved this. I know I do. And there's another totem with a snake on the back. It is kind of small, and these guys got some stuff for sale as well. Walk around over here. Check this one out. That's an interesting looking totem right there. It's got the arm around. It looks what the shape of a woman with a couple snakes coming off to the side. That is pretty interesting too. And then you got this guy. Scary. I don't know, this one might be my favorite too. Each one is just a little different and unique. I didn't even notice that. The dog head kind of looking thing with the horns. And it's nice to see that they're not touched or ruined. I mean, everybody seems to appreciate them. I'm gonna take a step away real quick. Well, there's a bunch of people out there, but they seem to be following me every which way I go. This is the maze. And that is the exit. But let's go take a look underneath. Got cactuses coming out the top there. Keep away any trespassers. Folks just left under this one. I'll show you what they have under here. There were some folks sitting under here, and I didn't want to bother them, but look at this. There's an egg, and as you look up, this is really, really cool. From the egg right here, I don't even know what that is. That feels so strange. It's got some sort of cover on it. But this is the undercarriage, all this really cool looking bluish glass to look like the stars and Saturn. As we look up, all the way to the moon. What a cool thing to have. And then there's, on each point, different faces. The hand, the alien hand, looks just like mine. Am I an alien? And this has some of the women-looking figures that they have on the totems. This was worth it. Definitely worth it if you're ever in the area. Down here in Escondido, right off the 15 freeway. We're peeking out. I was reading up on these, and they have symbols and creatures and animals that played an important role in the mythologies of various indigenous peoples. The eagle is an especially prominent part of the work as it figures significantly in Native Americans and indigenous Mexican legends. It also recurs frequently in St. Phalle's other works and was her personal symbol. So yeah, that's why there's so many eagles around here. I want to find out why there was. Maybe I'll ask one of these folks why snakes? Maybe to protect you? So I was just reading up on this too, and this is a fountain right here. In the middle of the plaza is a golden egg-shaped fountain which represents both Califa'S magical reign over the sea and birth, death, transformation cycle that serves as recurring theme in St. Phalle's work. So that's why that's here. This is a fountain. I saw a little nozzle on the top. It's just, this fountain is not fountaining right now. Look at all the snakes. And then this is it. I don't want to get that sunburst so much, but the parrot. Back of the main sculpture, and I gotta figure it's probably pretty easy to clean off. Come in here with a hose and then it's all set. Everything's really, really smooth. This is what it looks like from the back. And those are the mazes that bring you in and out. And just a quick turnaround of the sculptures. I'm gonna walk outside and see if there's anything on the outside of the sculpture wall. Because there's the sculpture and then it's fenced as well. And there's the eagle that we were talking about earlier. So there's two docents behind me, and I was asking about the snakes and what was her thought process. Well, one of the thought process was when you enter, you gotta enter through the black and white maze, almost like cleansing your palette before entering into the color of the center. So you're leaving the world behind almost. It's not really, I mean, it's a little bit of a maze, but so you would walk through either side there or here, and then this is what you would take in, what we just walked around. So that was really interesting. I thought this is something else. And there are two docents. They have books on the artist if you want to check any of that out. There's a flyer or something next to me. But yeah, no, thank you to them for being here and opening this place up. I really enjoyed it. Let's walk around here because there is a little area. Once the sun hits these things, they really stand out. Here we go. She has other art in San Diego. I did not know that. Coming Together, 2000. The Sun God, 1983, right there. Niki Gator, 1998. Located outside the Minjay International Museum and the Prado and Balboa Park. So this is the artist, Niki de Saint Phalle Bio. Wait, Bio. What is wrong with me? I read Bio like, okay. Niki de Saint was born in France and raised in New York City. She began painting in 1948. Moved 4 years later to Europe, Nice, Paris, Mallorca, and first came to the international prominence in 1961 as a member of the New Realist Group. If you want to read that, you can screenshot that. But that is the artist. And this just breaks down to everything we just kind of went through. My first really big piece for kids was the Golem, completed in 1970 in Jerusalem. Wow, I'm going to have to read up on this lady. She has a lot of interesting things about them, and they have all the sizes. The cat head totem, the yelling man totem. So these look like they're 17 to 21 feet. The snake totem, 16. Working from original clay, maquettes totems are made of polystyrene encased in urethane skin and applied fiberglass coating over a steel armature. While I'm walking around here, I just want to say, if you made it this far, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me. Queen Califa'S Magic Garden. Right here, Kit Carson Park, Escondido, California. Like I said, right off the 15 freeway. If it's the second or fourth Saturday of the, I feel like my neck on my shirt's getting stretched out. The second or fourth Saturday of the month, stop by. It should be open. Even like for today, it's blocked off to be able to park in here. It's a short park. I just walked across the Frisbee golf lanes there. And yeah, nice day to spend the afternoon. Get your steps in. 2 more snakes. Good amount of people, but you can pretty much get the place to yourself, get some good pictures like I'm doing. If you have any comments on this place or know anywhere else out here I should see, big lizard in my backyard, let me know. I have a couple other videos I'm shooting today. That scared me there. It wasn't a snake, that was a lizard again. But yeah, with that being said, I appreciate you watching as always. Go ahead and like this video if you like this video. Hopefully I earned your subscription. Thank you to anybody that's watched, to anybody that's left me a comment. I do appreciate it. Not stopping anytime soon, Lord willing. With that being said, don't get bit. See you next time. Bonus footage, bonus snake. Now this snake doesn't look as nice as the other ones inside the garden. I don't think he's aware of Queen Califa'S, but yeah, you see this thing? You're just going down and you make a left over the bridge. If you can get in, you just go around and go across that, and that's where the garden is. But look out for this snake. And caution. Flying disc. Ooh, nailed it. He was upset about something. This is cool too. I don't know why there's a hook in the middle. Something is hanging from there at times. Maybe there's a tire swing or something, but it's pretty large. Okay, I'm out of here.